Okay, the Superblast 2 versus the Nike Zoom Fly 6. These are both fantastic shoes. I love these shoes both very much. Okay, so I have tested these shoes in a variety of different use cases, and I love both of them. Okay, so let's see how they compare. Now, both of these shoes are often dubbed as super trainers because of their versatility and because of the super foam or because of the technology, like in this case, the plate. It's got a great plate. It's got you can see down here, fly plate. There's the fly plate. And it's got a layer of Zoom X foam on top and the SRO2 carrier foam at the bottom. But the Zoom X foam in the plate and this very well constructed upper and the lightness of the shoe give it a super quality. This is similarly light. They're both about 250 grams. They both have an 8mm drop. This has a very well constructed upper. This has a giant thick layer of FF Turbo Plus, which is the elite top of the line ASICS foam, and a carrier foam at the bottom again, but a much thicker layer of the elite foam. This is a very stiff shoe. This shoe probably has more give despite the fact that it has a plate. Even though this doesn't have a plate, because of this fat giant layer of foam, it's a very stiff shoe. So the foam it's almost as though it has a plate in a certain respect. Okay, so let's compare the two shoes. Now, there's a fantastic video that goes into this in depth that I already watched recently by Sagasu Running. I'll leave a link in the description. Fantastic comparison. So I'm going to just give my own experience with the shoes. He points out that perhaps we should call these tempo trainers, super trainers. There's a bit of a semantic situation going on. But yeah, these are tempo. These, let me be clear, are definitely tempo trainers. These are capable of tempo workouts. They are absolutely versatile and capable. But these are at home doing tempo for sure. There's no doubt. Okay, so let's speak about what these shoes do. This shoe can do a lot. It can do easy runs pretty well. It can lock into an easy pace, and I have a little kind of report doing easy runs in both shoes at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. While I'm running, I run in both shoes, trying to keep an easy pace. I use a heart rate monitor to ensure that I keep an easy pace, similar heart rate in both shoes, and we see how they compare at an easy pace. So that's later in the video. Okay, so let's save the easy stuff for later. But otherwise, if we do a tempo run, these guys can do a tempo run pretty well, or a fartlek. They can do it pretty well. Faster intervals and thresholds, you're not going to really choose these shoes first. And because they're so voluminous, they're so big, and they lack a plate, they aren't necessarily going to be your first choice. But you know what? They can actually do it. They are capable of doing this. I've run fast in these shoes. They're just a bit too, these giant balloons on your feet. They kind of grab too much air, it almost seems. But they can do it. They can do it, okay? They have responsive yet firm. It's bouncy foam, yet it's firm, so you can get a good, strong toe off. I really love the ride. I love the firmness of the shoes, the bounciness of the shoes. But just, yeah, as I said, because of their size, they don't feel as nimble as a racing shoe, a shoe that you would want for things like intervals. They just don't have that nimble quality that you might want. But the upside of that is they are incredibly stable. So let's go to longer runs, longer fartleks, longer tempo runs. Anything that goes longer in duration, these shoes really shine. They're very good at locking into a pace and holding that pace. They're incredibly protective. They're incredibly comfortable. They're incredibly stable. I've got 300 plus kilometers in these shoes, and there's almost no sign of wear. They're incredibly durable. So these are my juggernauts. Once I get going in these, there's no stopping me. Okay, they lock into marathon training very well. So these are, as far as I'm concerned, for marathon training, half marathon training, which I have one this weekend. I have a half marathon this weekend. These shoes are fantastic. I've raced an 11K in these shoes, and they performed very well. Reliable shoes, solid shoes, protective shoes, and marathon training beasts. Okay, now these, I gotta say, right off the bat, they do tempo better than these. When I pick up the pace, these guys shine. These guys can do intervals way better than these. The plate sings when you pick up the pace. They're still soft, they're still comfortable. When you slow down, they're surprisingly soft. But they harden up as you pick up the pace because of that plate. You sink into the plate and boom, it just gives back right away. These shoes, the geometry of the shoes, they want you, and I like to be up on my forefoot. I can run on my heel as well. When I run easy, I often sometimes go into my heel, or if I'm tired, I go into my heel. Or if my calves start hurting, I go into my heel. But otherwise, I tend to stay on my forefoot. It helps me with my cadence, which I've had to work to increase. And these guys are fantastic for high cadence running. These guys are fantastic for being up on your forefoot. But they have this thick heel. So if you're a heel striker, they're very comfortable on the heel, and they have very good roll forward. So these shoes, they do want to go fast. They really do want to go fast. And I've gone 12K very comfortably and faster than I had intended to do with these shoes. So tempo, threshold, interval, anything faster, these guys come alive, these guys sing. So these guys complement each other very well. And I made a video of the shoes that I have and have tried. These guys can, besides maybe easy runs, they can do everything that I would want to do. But they both can do easy runs. So let's speak about easy runs. I'm going to report to a run that I did previously, showing you what it's like to run in these two shoes easy.
Okay, sorry about the bumpiness. So I'm doing something strange. I'm using the Zoomfly 6 for an easy run. I'm keeping my heart rate in the 140s, making sure, using my heart rate monitor, to keep the run easy. You can see here they are. I'm shooting a video so my cadence has gone down a bit, but the run has been very, very easy, and I'm surprised they actually feel pretty decent for an easy run. I mean, I wouldn't choose these shoes for an easy run, but they're capable of doing it because they're very comfortable shoes. Now they want to go fast, so I had to force myself not to go fast. But they are capable of easy runs. They're soft enough to do the job. Surprise! So I'm going to compare them to another shoe that I wouldn't choose for an easy run. That being the Superblast 2, to see which non-easy run shoes are better at an easy run. Okay, I'm at the end of the easy run, and you do feel the plate. You definitely wouldn't choose these shoes for easy runs because they're not the softest, most comfortable shoes, but they can do easy runs very well. My efficiency has been very good. They're still very comfortable. And of course, these are not easy run shoes, but you can certainly use them for the job. Okay, I'm taking my Superblast 2 for an easy run. Again, using my heart rate monitor to make sure that I keep my heart rate in the 140s. Right now 145, so zone 2. And I don't usually use the Superblast 2 for an easy run, but I'm doing it on purpose today just to see. So there they are. And right now my cadence has gone down a bit, 173. Compared to the Zoomfly 6, I would say these are better for easy running, just because they're more stable and they lock into an easy pace. I would say a bit better maybe, but they both can do the job very well. If I had to choose one for an easy run, the Superblast 2 would be it.
Okay, so we're back from the easy runs. And as you can see, both these shoes aren't ideal for easy runs, but they can both do easy runs. I was surprised by how efficient I am in these shoes. And if you look at the Strava, here we have on the right-hand side, we have the Zoomfly 6. And on the left-hand side, we have Superblast 2. So yeah, these guys are efficient and they were very comfortable. Okay, the plate is still there, and you can, if you get on your forefoot, you can still feel it. I mean, you can still feel it. If you stay on your heel, you feel it a lot less. They are still very soft shoes. They're just not the softest shoes. Like easy run shoes are generally softer, but But you know, sometimes you don't want soft shoes for easy runs. It really depends. So they can actually do easy runs comfortably. These guys just feel more stable for an easy run. If you don't want to think too much and you just want to have stability, but they're kind of firmer than you might want for an easy run. Okay, these, the Superblast are more comfortable, but these guys are very comfortable. They both have a softness on the inside, and they both have a firmness when you get going. Overall more comfortable, but still very comfortable. They have enough softness in their foam. They have a ton of bounce. They also have a ton of bounce. These guys kind of have more forward momentum, more tempo in them. These guys have the capability of tempo, but they're more like momentum juggernauts that lock into a pace. Okay, so both fantastic shoes. Which are better? I'm not helping you with that because they're both great. Depends what you want, depends what kinds of workouts you need to get them for. If you're focusing on longer distances, these. If you're focusing on short distances, these. They're both versatile, they're both great. I am planning to run a half marathon race in these shoes. I think they will do well. If stability is a problem, go with these. If you want something that's going to have your back and be very protective, have these. Not everyone loves the ride in these. I think more people are more likely to love the ride in these. Or at least that's what I guess. Sorry about the focus situation. I love the ride in these guys now, but I didn't in the very beginning. And I loved the ride in these guys from the beginning. I've just from the first run, I loved the ride in these. The first run in these were a bit confusing, but I've come to love the ride so much in these. Such a reliable ride. I have a video about why some people don't get on with the Superblast, in which I mispronounce the word voluminous and say voluminous. Voluminous. I've subsequently learned how to say the word properly. Yay me. So, there you go. Superblast 2 versus Zoom Fly 6, both fantastic shoes.